Hey, welcome back to Twin Flame Psychic 1111. Thank you so much for joining me here. Today is a Twin Flame pick a card reading. What's really going on in your connection? What do you really need to know from Spirit? Please take a moment to hit the like button and the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and that way you'll be notified every time I release a new reading. So there's 3 sets of cards for you to choose from. Set of cards number 1 is the clear quartz. Set of cards number 2 is the yellow crackle quartz. And set of cards number 3 is the rose quartz. So take some time to tune into the energies of these. See which one resonates with you the most. And it's fine to be drawn to more than one of these as well. You can pause the video right now if you need to. And then we'll get straight into the reading. Welcome to set of cards number 1. You've chosen the clear quartz. So this is your twin flame. Pick a card. We're looking into what's really going on within your connection right now. What do you really need to know from Spirit? Please take a moment to hit the like button and the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and that way you'll be notified every time I release a new reading. So if you've chosen this card here, you've chosen twin flames. Your passion ignites. So there is a lot of passion right now. I definitely feel as though your person is missing you very deeply. What else is going on? We have introspection coming out straight away. This is the Hermit card. So you're both really going inwards, I feel. And look, there's this flame of passion here again. You're both going inwards. I feel as though there's some cloudiness within your connection. By that I mean you could both be busy, or your routines are different, or there's some sort of disruption in your day-to-day lives. And so it's a little bit more difficult to go inwards and feel so deeply connected with your person, okay? So there's a cloudiness. But this is really saying that over these next few days, or very recently, it could have been over the past few days, or today or yesterday, there's this sense of being able to shine the light through, or being able to move through any clouds of density, any feeling of separation, and really connecting telepathically, really feeling like there's this closeness. So you will be feeling your person coming through to you, almost like they're sitting with you or standing with you. And this is like their conscious self connecting with you telepathically. And I feel like they're coming through and saying things like, you're the only one who truly loves me, or you're the only one who truly sees me and understands me at this deep level. So there's definitely a lot of sadness, and this desire to just have this clarity of your energies circulating, like the infinity symbol. There's this desire for there to be this easy flow of energy, and I feel there is harmony within your connection right now, but like I said, it's kind of like a clouded energy, because it's either that you're both very busy, or there's just some sort of something different going on in your day-to-day lives, in your routine at this time. So I'm seeing your person coming through. You may feel this over the next few days. Your person coming through, and it's like their soul is embracing you. Their soul is like whispering in your ear, or they're sitting next to you, and they're really just spending this time with you. And it's like this wand here or it's normally a lantern, the light. It's like coming through clearly, breaking through the clouds, a time of deep connection. So a lot of introspection as well. This person's thinking about you all the time. I do feel like a lot of understandings, a lot of awakenings and shifts and integrations are happening right now as well. To do with making sense of your path, getting clear about what is right for you, what feels right for you. What else is really going on in your connection right now? We have the Seven of Cups. So yeah, this is another energy of taking this time to really go inwards in order to dive into the higher realms. This is a lot of thinking, a lot of imagining, daydreaming, but it's also connecting with the higher realms. I do feel, like I said, that there's a lot of things coming into clarity, a lot of things that are integrating, deeper understandings. But Seven of Cups, this person, well, you're both like really connecting with each other from afar. This is like your natural pattern. You naturally both do this. You're naturally introverts. So again, this is like feeling your energy coming through very clearly when in a time where there could be a lot of things going on in your day-to-day lives. We have the Spirit of Cups, or the Page of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. So this is all very deep spiritual energy coming through here. Spirit of Cups. There's intense healing going on right now. Intense light coming in. Again, this is awakening coming in to your awareness. There's a longing, okay? Like you're missing each other very deeply. I'm hearing from Spirit, and I'm really feeling as though they're just really missing your energies. They're missing your presence. They kind of feel as though they feel a little bit disoriented because they're used to either seeing you regularly or just feeling very close to you. So they're feeling a little cloudy, you know. It's like their clarity, they feel as though their clarity isn't as sharp because maybe they're having to focus on other things, or they're just so used to being in the light of your presence. And this is mirrored energy, okay? You're used to being in the light of each other's presence, and so it's seeming like you're a little bit disoriented, or there's just cloudiness. That's what I keep picking up. You're used to having like this intense eye contact, I feel, as well, and being able to read each other's energies, okay? It may be feeling as though it's harder to pick up on their energies a little bit, but nonetheless, in your hearts, you're always like as one. You feel the other person's energy. It's just taking a little bit more time and energy to have like this clear channel of communication, like telepathically. Three of Pentacles. This is really saying that there is so much spiritual work, spiritual healing taking place at this time. Your souls are very much working together. I feel as though there's some anxieties coming out, like about the future. But Spirit is saying try to continue to live in the present moment. So let's look into these energies a little bit deeper with these Infinite Love Oracle cards. Let's look into this introspection. We have the One. So yeah, you're both diving very deeply, going into the higher realms, okay? It's a soulmate twin flames, brings you back to the oneness. So divine love, infinity will have the most loving impact in each other's lives. You're catalysts to each other. So constantly coming back into the oneness, constantly feeling magnetized into thinking about each other and very much connecting your energies, this flow of light, this flow of truth. So the Seven of Cups. We have introspection. So wow, this has come out twice. Going inward, seeking answers, intuition, overthinking, revelation, awakening, discovering, unearthing, and profound shifts. So what is this introspection about exactly? I want to discover what this is about. I'm not sure what deck to look at. What is this introspection about? The Rose's Kiss. So this just makes me think of like romance, romantic thoughts. There's this constant like magnetism towards intimacy, I feel. With the rose, that's the heart chakra. So again, connecting very powerfully through the heart chakra. The Rose's Kiss. Just feels like a sweetness. There feels like this powerful intimacy, this oneness. Wanting to get close, basically. Wanting to feel close. Wanting to feel the other person's energies. Wanting to feel the other person's love. Wanting to feel the other person really there energetically. What else is this introspection about? That's just fallen on the floor. Yeah, we have the storyteller. It's very interesting. Within this connection is like this infinite possibilities of exploration. So the storyteller, this is like imagination. It feels very magical. This is like a very private experience for both of you with this lock and key here. It makes me think of like a secret diary. You both feel very, very connected on that deep level that other people cannot access. This is why you feel so close to each other. This is your souls interacting. This is you knowing each other from the level of the soul. So what is... Look, I'm just noticing at the bottom of the deck we have a tall tale and Pinocchio and the storyteller. So there could be some illusions coming up. Or some sort of fears. So let's look even deeper into this, like what is coming up here. the storyteller, the illusions. Ten of Wands. So yeah, there is some cloudiness within your connection right now, because Ten of Wands is heavy burdens. This person cannot see where they're going. They cannot see clearly because of some burdensome thoughts is what I'm feeling. This is most likely fears of separation, fears of abandonment, them just really missing you really missing each other. So introspection, it's like diving deeply into maybe overthinking things or feeling fears. Let's explore this deeper. We have the Eight of Cups. This is the walking away card, and the Two of Pentacles, the juggling card. Okay, so I feel as though someone maybe feeling up in the air somewhat, because there's a fear of you walking away, or you fear them walking away because of heavy burdens, because of feeling caught between two dimensions. Or again, it just feels as though there's this energetic distance. I do feel it's because there's a lot going on, like in your individual lives. So there's not like the usual amount of time to really connect energetically, okay? There's a lot to juggle right now. Two of Pentacles, this is also someone's feeling very burdened because they are feeling caught between the two dimensions. This could be both of you. It could be playing out in different ways, but you both find it a struggle to sort of balance your internal world, because you're both very introspective. You're both like the hermit energy, okay? Introverts. This is where you connect, okay? Spirit's saying this is where you are one in your true nature, where you are these introverts. But you've both struggled a lot to feel, you both feel very weighed down on this earth plane. You feel the density, you feel the heaviness. So this connection feels blissful to you both, because you can both just dive very deeply in this introspection into the higher realms, where it feels like this blank canvas. It feels like this pure light. It feels like love, rejuvenation, because you can be your true self. You are your true self when you're going inwards. It could be that some of you are feeling burdened. Someone's feeling burdened here because they are going inwards, or they're needing a lot of time to go inwards, but they may be feeling as though they're having to juggle a lot of things and it's becoming tiresome. It could be that there's people in your lives who don't understand that you need a lot of alone time. You need to go inwards a lot. So it can feel very heavy when you don't have this time to really rejuvenate yourselves in this way. So what else? Dimension jump, yeah. So this is all about traveling to the higher dimensions through that introspection. You're immersing yourselves in this. You're feeling restless is what I'm feeling, basically, because you haven't had time to immerse so much and have this soul exploration. Going into the infinite, connecting with a soul family, energetic union. We have happiness. So you're both feeling really happy to have this soul plan, this soul agreement of working together as these light workers. You are these volunteers that have come here in order to shine out these high vibrations from the higher dimensions. You've really activated each other. It's like your energies have come together and it's sparked this brighter light within you both. Your energies work together to illuminate your true selves even more, and you're emanating all of this light. So there's a lot of joy, euphoria, success, harmony, high vibration, confidence, fulfillment, satisfaction, emanation, optimism, and excitement. This is how you make each other feel. It's incredibly healing. It's, you know, it heals the density, the heaviness. There's a sense of powerful liberation through this union, and it's euphoric. At the bottom of the deck, I am seeing abandonment fears, fears of loss, fears of unrequited love, fears of being left, feelings of unworthiness being triggered up, separation illusion, seeking reassurance, holding on. Okay, so let's look at some more oracle cards. What's really going on in your connection at this time? I just want to move these out of the way, actually. What's really going on? We have trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So I feel like there is some fears coming up about where you're thinking about a time where maybe you may no longer be seeing this person, and fears and sadness, like at the thought of that. But trust the timing. You both have this strong feeling that your connection is so powerful, it's going to continue to unfold. It is this infinite bond. Time is not running out. You know, you connect beyond space and time. But there's just this feeling that your connection is going to continue deepening, and you're wondering, like, what's going to happen over a longer period of time. Those kinds of thoughts are coming up. We have the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. So yeah, I do feel a lot of activations happening, a lot of awakening and really understanding profound things at this time. And integrating all of that. There could be a separation at this time to really help you both dive even deeper, especially as introspection came out twice. You're able to make a lot of sense of a lot of things. We have perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. So it's interesting. None of this matters. So there's something that's been triggered, okay? It could be, it's most likely to do with belief in separation. With the Eight of Cups, you know, the walking away card. And the abandonment fears that came out. Perspective. You're seeing a higher perspective on things. Oops, wrong deck. And portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. And wild card. So yeah, I really feel as though you're stepping through this portal to connect with each other. Doors are opening. This is awareness coming in, I feel, as well. Most definitely. So what is this? Let's look more into this perspective. Like, none of this matters. What is this about? So innocent. We have pure, heart in the right place, naive, childlike, pure intentions, inexperienced, mean well, you can trust them. Okay, so some triggers could potentially be coming up, or judgments coming up in the ego. But it's like you are able to transcend that. You're able to realize either the innocence, like in the other person, or you're realizing that everything is happening the way it should do. You're looking at a deeper level. You're seeing the light. You're seeing the truth. We have obsession here as well. So you're both very fixated and passionate. You can't stop thinking about each other. There's a lot of sexual tension right now and burning desires, fascination. So let's look into how is your person seeing you right now. We have, I am forgiving of myself and of others. So yeah, I do feel like some judgments may be being triggered up within you, or maybe within your person, but there's this forgiveness. This is coinciding with this innocent energy here, okay? There's a lot of ego judgments that are being healed and released. There's like balance and harmony. There's emotional stability, emotional maturity going on here. And I definitely feel like there could be other like soul contracts or other things. You know, you live in your own individual lives. You have in your own individual experiences. The ego could be coming up at some points and like having this tendency to sort of want to judge that, but you're transcending that. I'm forgiving of myself and of others, okay? So you may be catching yourself with some judgments coming up, but then it's like you're moving into back into love, back into light, seeing the truth beyond the ego thoughts, okay? So that's why the storytelling card came out, and a tall tale with Pinocchio. That is yeah, look, smoke and mirrors as well. These are illusions in the mind coming up to be purged and released, exposed and revealed. It's like you're seeing beyond like these ego judgments or what isn't real. A layer of illusion is being lifted for one of you or both of you, okay? We have I am creative. So a lot of creative energy is coming through at this time. This is going with the flow, being in the flow energy. Your person sees you as really, really creative. They love this about you. They see you as very unique, very expressive. I celebrate our similarities and differences. So this is very significant. What I'm feeling, the kind of energies that have been coming up, or the triggers that have been coming up within your union recently, is pain about your differences, okay? So this could be where this judgment's coming up, like you may be feeling as though you're on different pages in certain ways, and there's like pain coming up. It makes you, in your mind, it could make you feel like there's a disconnection somewhat, and that feels painful. because you're used to feeling so close to your person, and you still are, but you're used to celebrating all these similarities. But I feel like there could be some differences coming up, and it's triggering either one of you or both of you a little bit. Like maybe you're feeling, oh, this person doesn't understand me, or it just creates this illusion of a disconnect. But I feel like you are stepping into more emotional and spiritual maturity, where you're able to celebrate your similarities and your differences, and not, you know, make that feel as though there's some sort of disconnect. Continuing to feel deeper levels of oneness despite like differences. And we have, I am so loved, loving and lovable. So the love is immense between you. This is what's coming through. You're both really desiring to feel closeness. You're feeling as though you're missing each other. But like I said, bleeding through like the fog, the illusions, the triggers, or just being so busy, or all of those things, is these times where suddenly you're feeling so close with each other energetically. You're feeling so loved. You're feeling so loving and lovable. There's this embrace on the soul level, very profoundly. So what's going on your journey right now? Crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending and releasing. So yeah, any triggers coming up where you feel like, oh, this person's very different from me, because you got, you know, you really love feeling all your similarities, and you are very, very similar, like you're the same in so many ways. But you know, it's human nature to have some differences as well. So this crossing bridges, it's like, instead of seeing this as separation and feeling some sort of wounding coming up because of this, you're like bridging the gap, okay? You're connecting. Any sense of separation, you're transforming that into a deeper level of connection, okay? Through understanding, through acceptance, through love, through compassion. Time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing those triggers, releasing those stories to do with like abandonment wounds, okay? Someone's been feeling somewhat abandoned, not necessarily because someone's walked away in the 3D or whatever's going on in the 3D. It's more like some abandonment wounds have come up because of feeling like, oh, this person is not on the same page in terms of a certain level of understanding, and, you know, judgment coming up about that somewhat, and then realizing that that's a judgment, that's an illusion, and releasing that, because it's all about perspective. How you perceive things is how you experience things. What else is going on in your connection at this time? Embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. So yeah, I do feel like some integration, some acceptance, some compassion, understanding has been integrated within one of you or both of you, okay? So whatever stories, whatever illusions were coming up in the mind, believing in separation and feeling abandoned somewhat because of that, is dissolving, being transformed, and you're coming back into deeper levels of harmony, shouting to the heavens with happiness, like trusting the divine, trusting the connection, trusting, you know, whatever is unfolding. seeing the bigger picture beyond everything. I feel like your person may be missing you because they are sort of picking up on these energies within you, okay? This introspection, it's like you're both individually going inwards a lot. You're feeling some sort of tension. And this everything that's being integrated. One of you may be feeling judged or suspecting that the other person's judging you somewhat or has been judging you somewhat. But this is being transformed into love. What the other person is doing like a lot of work to transform that, gain a deeper or higher level of spiritual understanding, because your person loves you so deeply, and any sort of judgment that's coming up, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel like the truth. So one of you is really working through that. We have wise leader. You are a beacon for others. So that's reminding me of the introspection card, which came out right at the start with this beacon, with this light. Look, introspection. So wise leader. Okay. I'm getting messages coming through, but it's hard to sort of say it or express it. Like, I don't want it to come out like the wrong way. Wise leader. It definitely feels as though one of you is kind of like more of the leader in this connection. So you're being very dedicated to being a beacon for the other person, but you're both these leaders, you're both these light workers, but you have so much compassion, so much understanding. I definitely feel as though one of you is most likely the divine feminine, is observing like divine masculine, and you feel as though you're seeing the divine masculine go through things or go through stages in their awakening that you feel you've kind of been through before, the divine masculine. So you're like witnessing this person going through these same stages of healing, these same stages of awakening, okay? So a lot of this non-judgment is because you are sort of looking at what's going on with the divine masculine, and you are looking back to yourself when you were kind of at that same place in your past, and you're having like this non-judgment because you're like, how did I feel you know, when I was going through the same thing? Or you're just trying to step into this person's shoes by looking at yourself and understanding that this is how the divine masculine is feeling, because that's how I have felt in the past, going through the same things. Okay, just going to plug this in. The battery's running out. So a lot of compassion is coming in because of that, okay? Breaking trail, a breakthrough is at hand. So yeah, there could have been a lot of shadow, a lot of illusions coming up and not being able to see clearly. But trusting in the light, trusting in the divine timing as well. This is you really being in the flow state of knowing that, okay, triggers are coming up. This means I can't see things clearly. This means some sort of storytelling's going on in my mind that isn't the true reality. So there's this sense of you being in the flow and just sort of waiting for that divine timing, for the light, for the truth to come in. And for some of you, this is very soon, or for some of you, this has already happened, or it's happening in stages. This light, this love, this understanding. And therefore, whatever your triggers are, they're shifting into compassion. And it's like the last thing you want is to like judge the other person, because you know that this person is this, where's this card? You know this, you know the other person is this. They're pure, their heart's in the right place. It says naive and childlike, but this was really just indicating how you could feel as though, like I said, they're going through things that you sort of went through in the past, but you're realizing this person has pure intentions. It says inexperienced, they mean well, you can trust them. So breaking trail is breaking free from the illusions, coming back into the truth of the love and the innocence which you've always known is there. Many of you've not lost sight of that, but you were just observing. You were examining with that introspection card. You were examining these triggers and illusions and stories that were coming up. It was just abandonment fears or abandonment wounds coming up, and they, pretty much always cloud your judgment somewhat initially. But yeah, you're examining things very closely, so you're not getting too sort of caught up in that illusion and the dense energy of that. So I'm going to finish this reading with a Rumi Oracle card. It's going to be a really powerful message from Spirit. What do you really need to know about your connection right now? What's really going on? What is the advice from Spirit? We have Whirling Goddess. So interested to see what this is about. Whirling Goddess, lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Come, my love, are you dizzy yet? If you can still find your feet, then that is okay with me. But if you can still find your head, then I will take issue. There is a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. No, this great dance demands a response rather than an initiation, a reaction rather than a direction. So let us dissemble and lose our heads to the great music, the rhythm held steady in our beating hearts. Our feet shall be moving whilst our minds, inadequate to the task, take the night off. There is somewhere you are meant to be. It is here, now, in this moment. There is a gift right under your nose, and fragrant wine in your glass, gleaming red as the most precious rubies. To be here, now, you must pass through the keyhole, but your head will tell you that this is not possible unless the door is unlocked, even though your body is passing through the keyhole of that locked door into the endless world beyond. Leave your mind to be in its struggles for a moment. Without you laying witness to it, your mind will become like the dog howling for his master's return, even as he steps out of the front door. Frustrated temporarily, he will chew on some shoes, then fall asleep peacefully until his master returns. So leave your mind trusting, chewing a little until you are truly through the keyhole, when it can rest. Leave it behind. Instead, come dance with me. So to me, this is again really talking about how you're really missing each other. There's a sense of separation right now, like the locked door, but it's saying go through the keyhole. To me, that's really saying go through the heart space, because you're feeling like the dog howling for his master's return, so to speak. This oracle brings you a message. You are at a point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. If you have, like so many, used your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world, and to gain a sense of certainty about how the world works, then this is no easy leap. It will seem as though you're being asked to pass through the keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be opened instead of remaining closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind in resistance. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than it is. You're being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and come alive. It is the bravest, most trusting soul that dares to put the mind to one side and say, "Tonight we dance, my heart and I, in the great rousing music of the beloved's beating heart, and I will not miss one step." And to awaken the next day and do that all over again and again and again. You are ready, you see, sweet soul dancer. You are ready to live beyond what you know, to have it not matter if you don't understand how life can work itself out, or how it could be that someone so normal and ordinary as you and I could also be so magnificent, wild and divine. The need for answers and plans, assurances and explanations is passing out of your world now. You are not to wait for permission, for explanation, or even for another dance partner, for I'm already inviting you on the great dance floor. You are to let go of any stigma around not knowing. When someone asks you what you are going to do next or how you are going to manage, you are given this divine mandate. With relish reveal the truth, "I do not know." Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and timing. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres, happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. This oracle brings you a special message. If there is an issue apparently unsolvable or unknowable in your life now, the divine is handling it. The divine is in the middle of it, working through the knot and unraveling it. Fear not, do the sacred ritual and give yourself permission to take the night off from worry. Repeat this heavenly prescription daily as needed. So here is the sacred honoring ritual. Say aloud, "I give my heart permission to lead this dance. I give my mind some time off. No more worry or doubt, planning or resisting. Instead I surrender. Instead I open. Instead I allow, and all unfolds with perfection, divine timing, and the miracle of grace. With Rumi as my sole witness, so be it. You have completed your honoring ritual." So I really hope this reading has resonated very deeply with you. Thank you so much for joining me here. Take care. Bye. Welcome to set of cards number 2. You've chosen the yellow crackle quartz crystal. So this is your twin flame reading. What's really going on in your connection? What do you really need to know from spirit right now? Please take a moment to hit the like button and the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and that way you'll be notified every time I release a new reading. So if you've chosen this set of cards, this card here, you've chosen passion. A magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. I feel like this desire to feel more passion, more magnetism, more closeness. There's an energy of you really missing each other. There is still all of this passion, but there's this feeling of it being sort of clouded or murky at this time. There's some sort of shadow side coming up. There could be like a physical separation. You're feeling kind of out of sorts is what I'm feeling a little bit, because there's this feeling of you're used to feeling like the energetic channels between you being very clear, And the love is definitely very profound. It's this infinite bond. You both feel that underneath everything, but it's like this cloudiness, this murkiness coming up. And it kind of feels like it's all this debris. It's like this energetic shadow side kind of debris coming up. So there could be a lot of triggers coming up somewhat, but there's still like this feeling of intense stability between you both. Like the love is this stable force. You both, I feel this is like a stable knowing about how much you both love each other. But yeah, there's just some sort of cloudiness, something energetic, shadow side coming up at this time. But there's a lot of passion underneath this. There's these desires to feel more of this passion. There's a lot of like sexual desires, a lot of sexual thoughts. I feel like you both may be thinking about each other in these sexual ways, to feel that closeness, to feel that intimacy. Again, when I'm hearing, when you're like engaging in these sexual thoughts, and maybe more than just thoughts, let's say, this is really increasing this level of intimacy, this closeness, like energetically between you both. So let's look deeper into what's really going on in your connection right now. What do you need to know from Spirit? We have the Queen of Cups. Okay, so what I'm feeling is going on, maybe Divine Feminine, you've put a lid on the cup. The Queen of Cups is the only Cups card where there is a lid on the cup. The cup representing the heart. Okay, I feel like Divine Feminine, you're going inwards a lot. You may be integrating triggers that are coming up. Many of you, I feel like you are doing really well with this. You have a lot of emotional like maturity. You have a lot of emotional stability. Okay, Divine Masculine, however, maybe feeling or sensing this sort of shadow, these clouds of shadow side coming up somewhat, feeling these triggers somewhat within you. But again, it's like there's always this underlying profound love and stability in knowing how you both love each other so deeply. But there's, yeah, some sort of, I was going to say wounding. It is kind of wounding. For some of you, it's definitely wounding. But for others of you, this is not like super massively intense, but nonetheless, there's stuff coming up to be shifted, healed, brought into light, integrated, to be transformed into love and compassion and seeing beyond the illusion of separation. But yeah, the Divine Masculine may be sensing that there's an energetic disconnect somewhat. Like Divine Feminine, you could be in your mind, like your mind's coming up, like overthinking, like stories, illusions, false belief systems coming up somewhat. And this takes us out of the heart chakra. The heart space is where you really feel as one with each other energetically on the true level. But when you're overthinking, or fears or wounds are coming up, it does naturally take us into the overactive mind. The focus is more in the mind. So there could be some sort of judgments coming up, because that's what happens in the mind. And it's like a belief in separation. It's like these illusions that it's you're suddenly feeling disconnected, and you're looking at the person as though they're separate from you, or you have differences in beliefs or whatever it is, that takes you more into duality. And I feel as though Divine Masculine may be fearing you judging them, or feeling that you're in the overactive mind right now, because they're feeling somewhat of a disconnect. And I feel like they're really missing you. They want you to open your heart to them. I feel like they've been wanting you to express your feelings. They've been wanting to know how you're feeling. They want you to know how deeply they love you as well. So let's look deeper. So 9 of Wands, this is the wounded warrior, okay? So you may not intentionally be doing this, but Divine Feminine, I feel as though you may have these defenses up, like you're taking this time to go inwards. But when you're going, there's this sense of when you're both going inwards, you're feeling, normally you're used to feeling like when you go inwards, the other person's with you energetically. And yes, this is always the case in truth. But like I said, it feels like some sort of disconnect, like there's a lot of cloudiness that represents the overthinking mind and the wounds that come up in our mind. It's creating these barriers, okay? I do feel like Divine Feminine, you may be sort of hiding your energy away, okay? You may have this tendency to sort of hide yourself away subconsciously when you're feeling wounded. This is definitely mirrored energy, okay? You both subconsciously create a thicker like wall of density around yourself, or you put on a mask when you're feeling too vulnerable, okay? You will have recognized this within the Divine Masculine as well. And it's like a instinctual reaction or a conditioned reaction, okay? So the wounded warrior, it's like wounds are coming up, but you're very like powerful, you're a very strong person. You're able to see the light, the truth, the love beneath everything. You're able to see the bigger picture. And even if you cannot see it in the moment, you have this faith, this trust, this knowing that there's a higher meaning to everything beneath you not being able to see it clearly in the moment. You know that the clarity will come through when you're open and receptive to it, okay? So I do feel like Divine Feminine, you may have subconsciously withdrawn your energy somewhat from Divine Masculine at this time, because you're going inwards, you're integrating some triggers, you're healing yourself, but you are open and receptive to the divine guidance, the awakening, the truth coming in, okay? You're open and receptive to understanding like the bigger picture of whatever's happening within your connection. Releasing the need to try and, you know, I do feel like you're trying to understand things, but there's still this energy of you being in the flow, open and receptive to the truth coming in, because you realize that you cannot come to conclusions through the overactive mind. You need to receive the truth through sinking into the heart space, being receptive to the universe coming in with that knowledge, with that understanding, and that therefore the healing as well. Because when we don't understand something, it can create like pain. Meditation. So yeah, Divine Feminine, you're going inwards a lot, okay? Meditation, to me, again, this is you connecting with the higher truth, with the love. But it's like you're integrating a lot, okay? And naturally, twin flames can need like that alone time or autonomy in those moments to make sense of something, to integrate something. But meditation overall is talking about this serene, harmonious, a peaceful kind of energy. You are trying to meditate, you are trying to think back into the heart space, and many of you are achieving that really well. So it's transmuting any triggers, it's enabling you to see beyond illusions that create pain a lot easier. Yeah, and we have introspection, so the hermit. So yeah, you're being somewhat of a hermit. That's that autonomy that's going inwards. There has been some triggers which are creating this belief in separation. So you're feeling disconnected from the divine masculine a little bit. That's that cloudiness, that's that murkiness. You and your person are always one. That is the truth. You are the love. That is all that there is in the true reality. You're always as one, but anytime triggers in the mind come up, or overthinking things, or focusing from the mind rather than the heart, it creates clouds. So the clouds the clouds surround you, and then it's like this blanket of denser energy that makes you believe or feel kind of separate, because it's sort of blocking the channel of this free-flowing energy somewhat. So yeah, hermit energy, I feel as though the other person is, and this could be the other way around, okay? But I feel as though the other person is sensing that, and it could be triggering some fears of abandonment and rejection within them. So let's look at some other cards. I'm feeling drawn to these ones. We have this one here. It says power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or walk away at any time. But I feel like there's this infinite bond here with this imagery. The snake. I feel as though you're holding the divine masculine in compassion. Power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or walk away at any time. To me, this is really saying you have the power, you have the wisdom and the experience to instinctively know what is real and what is triggered illusions. And you had the power to say no to the illusions and walk away from the illusions at any time and sink back into the heart space. Okay. I feel this is you, Divine Feminine, making this decision, because you're the one with your eyes open in this card. You're making this decision to always try and come back into the light. It's not even like a decision, because it's not even like, well, obviously you do have free will, but this is just your natural state within this connection, that the natural thing is to flow back into the love, okay? The love is truth. The light, seeing beyond illusion, that just happens naturally. You're continually magnetized into the light. This is the power of this union, okay? It keeps magnetizing you, attracting you, pulling you through illusions and density, the illusion of separation, back into oneness, back into truth, back into love, and therefore the healing of the stories, because you move beyond the stories, you see beyond the stories, and you expand more and more into light. It's deeply healing, okay? But definitely this feeling of, with the divine masculine with their eyes closed here, and I'm always reluctant to say this because I don't want to be in like some sort of illusion of the divine feminine being more awakened or something, but at the same time, it's like you have your eyes open here and you're assisting divine masculine. You know, in truth, you're always assisting each other, most definitely. But I feel like you have like a deeper understanding or more experience with this path, this spiritual path. So what else? Let's look at these cards. We have Judge, Shapeshifter, Slave. So I'm immediately feeling like some judgments could have come in, but there's, you know, light attributes here. It says balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. And shadow attribute says offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal or criminal authority. So I feel as though you are creating balance, okay, within yourself. Divine feminine, I feel like you're trying to create balance. And this is kind of what I was saying as well, like divine feminine, you may be judging yourself, or I kind of judge myself, and don't want to feel like there's this imbalance in terms of your level of awakening. But yeah, divine feminine, especially right now, you're trying to be in this balanced energy where you're having compassion and having this fairness and managing the fair distribution of power, i.e. you're not becoming this judgmental person on your high horse. You know that's just ego. You understand that's just ego. You're trying not to judge yourself as well for the ego coming up at times. Shapeshifter, it's like you're shifting out of ego judgments that are enslaving you. It's these ego judgments that create pain, but you're shape-shifting. You have this skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, okay? You're someone who's very good at knowing when their ego is coming up a lot of the time. A lot of the time you can observe that. Sometimes you can hear your ego like chattering away, you're witnessing it. Sometimes you're even like kind of laughing at the ego, not like in a extremely judgmental way, a negative way, not in a sarcastic way, but at the same time you're hearing your ego sort of running its mouth. And you can sort of like have a little giggle at it. It says the shadow attribute, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. But yeah, overall you are shifting into these different levels of consciousness, higher levels of consciousness. You have this ability to see the potential in everything. So whatever is coming up in your connection, your ego could very easily judge it as being wrong. Your ego could very much judge it as being like obstacles. But you have this knowledge, you have this wisdom and experience to know that that's an illusion, and that the universe knows best, okay? The higher dimensional realms can see the truth. You trust in the divine. You know that that is the truth. You know that you and your person are going to go through these different experiences in your lives for awakening, for learning, for releasing things, density, illusions, okay? I feel as though you have this ability to try and step into your person's shoes, and then also look back in. It's like you're comparing things to what you've been through in your life, you know, your own experience, and you're trying to understand what your person's going through by looking at your own experiences that were the same or that were very similar, or just looking at times where you feel like your person could have really judged you, and maybe somewhat they were, but that's irrelevant. It's like you're looking back at times where you feel the other person could have been triggered, they could have been judging you, and then you're looking at yourself and understanding, like, and saying to yourself, I can understand why they may have been judging me, or they could have judged me for that. But then you're looking at your own process, why you were doing certain things, why you were going through certain things, or why you couldn't see clearly, why you were playing certain things out in your life, and realizing you are only ever trying your best. You are only ever trying to see the truth beneath everything. You have a lot of compassion for yourself, and understanding that at times or through certain experience you couldn't see the truth. You were stuck in illusion. You were playing out illusions. All those kinds of things where you feel like, I could understand, like, if the other person would judge me for that, and then it's like you're stepping into their shoes and being like, well, I don't want to judge this other person because they're going through this similar experience of not seeing things clearly, or, you know, whatever it is. It's hard to explain what I mean by this, but you're trying to empathize. Slave, it says, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So yeah, surrendering to the divine. The shadow attribute says giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Overall, I feel this is the ego can make us feel really enslaved in pain and suffering and illusion if we don't shift beyond our unconsciousness, if we don't trust the divine to bring us the truth and the understanding when we need it, in the divine timing, shifting beyond our judgments, shifting beyond that illusion, basically. So what's really going on in your connection right now? A burst of magic. So yeah, this is you bursting forth or bursting through like these clouds of illusions. So there is somewhat still some density clouding you from feeling this energetic connection running so smoothly or freely at this time. This karmic disruption, by that I mean like the triggering disruption, the mind coming up. That's nothing to judge yourself about. That happens in order for you to be able to observe it and therefore be able to release it. But a burst of magic, this is, you may have recently experienced this, or you will very soon, suddenly having these moments of your heart opening and just feeling your twin flames energy with you, like you've broken or you've burst through the density, and there's moments of feeling so intimate, so close, feeling their soul with you, feeling your souls communicating, feeling the euphoria, the bliss, the joy of this intense love and oneness. Again, a burst of magic. spirit of gratitude. So yeah, you're being open-minded. Your mind is open and receptive to receiving the truth, receiving the love. You love your person so deeply. You don't want to judge this person. You know it's not real. It feels like a kind of horrible energy. It doesn't feel like the truth. You know it isn't the truth beneath what the mind's bringing up at times. So you have so much gratitude for your person. You feel so much love. You feel so much empathy. Look at all this open, receptive energy with the lotus here, the open flower. Gratitude, you know. You have this understanding, this profound understanding. It may have been through years and years of not understanding in the past, but you have this understanding that it's all about perspective. You have a choice to make. You can choose to see this connection, this experience, either from the place of ego and limitation and pain and judgment and feeling like things are wrong and feeling terrible, or you can choose to have this gratitude, see how wonderful and amazing this connection is, how this is so profound, how you feel so deeply loved, how you feel loved by the divine through the love of your person. So you have this gratitude, and it means you have like so much compassion, so much understanding. Okay, so this is only for, you know, if overall there's mostly love and harmony, you know. This isn't about, I'm not talking about any circumstances if there's any kind of abuse or anything like that, okay? That's a totally different story. What else is really going on? Yeah, we have let it go. Wow. And they're pulling this ribbon open, or this bow open, to open the heart. This is all this openness, okay? Any sort of judgment, any sort of negative belief system, shadow side that's being triggered up right now, you're being asked to let it go. It's so you have an opportunity. You can come to that crossroads where you can make that choice to let it go. Because if you hold on to it, it's only going to continue your pain. Because any kind of illusion creates pain. Only truth, only love brings you peace and healing. So you're letting it go. You're letting any misunderstanding go. Because the mind always wants to understand everything and make sense of everything. You're surrendering. You're opening your heart, okay? For some of you, you could have temporarily and unintentionally sort of closed your heart somewhat, going inward, sort of shielding yourself subconsciously because of fears of being too vulnerable. You both have these fears of the others seeing you in your vulnerable state, somewhat. But what's happening here is whatever's, you know, pulling your strings, whatever's triggering you, whatever's making you a slave to negative or limiting belief systems and therefore suffering, you're letting it go. And it's allowing you to open your heart even more. That's the choice that you're making. That's the choice because it makes you feel good. Because it's the truth. You're choosing the truth, which is love. Sacred reverence. So the lock and the key here, and the heart, opening the heart. You have reverence for this path, okay? You have a lot of gratitude for this path, the light and the shadow. You know that shadow or triggers are to bring stuff up that's been stuck in your subconscious, and it needs to be triggered up in order for you to release it, for it to come into your pain body, for it to come into your awareness, so you can go inwards and have a lot of introspection and shine the light on it and be like, this isn't feeling good. You have this continual desire to feel good, okay? This connection is so profound. It's so loving. It's about this love. It's about joy. It's about freedom. So you always have this desire and this magnetism to keep coming back to feelings of joy, to keep making that choice. So you have a lot of gratitude, a lot of reverence for the shadow coming up, the triggers coming up, because you know it's giving you that opportunity to examine that and why you're feeling that way and how it's an illusion, and therefore releasing it and coming into higher levels of freedom and consciousness. Grounding, go deep, explore your roots. This is what you're doing, the triggering. But yeah, look again, divine feminine, you may have been needing this like alone time to do this. The divine masculine may have been feeling somewhat disconnected, like I was saying. Like there's this huge, you're sort of hiding, not hiding, but you're sort of resting in this alone time, alone space. You may be reading a lot of things, you may be looking up a lot of things, a lot of discovery, a lot of awakening, and it's grounding, okay? It's integrating into you. You're going deep, exploring your roots, releasing wounds. Yeah, look, we have overcoming obstacles. Okay, I'm hearing from spirits, obstacles, so to speak, are put in your path because you come across this, it makes you come up against this density. And you have the power and the strength to dissolve this density through that introspection. You're very good at, this love can overcome anything. The power of who you are on that soul level, you are that love, you're aligned with that. You continually choose to align with that. So it's the most powerful force. You can overcome any obstacle. This is true for this connection. This is true for this love, okay? There could be certain obstacles that the mind would think was this huge boulder and there's no way of getting past it. The mind will think this is separation. This is the end of the path. I have to turn back. But in your heart, in your soul, you just know, and it's just the truth that there's nothing, there's no sort of obstacle, there's no obstacle that can stand in the way of this love. So no matter what's happening within the 3D, within your connection, it's not changing anything in terms of, it's not stopping this love. Your love, it's pierces through anything. This is like a boulder in the river. Like the love is this river, it's this flow, it's this truth, it's this oneness. And the love just either goes around this boulder and it breaks it down like over time. This love is enduring because it represents the infinite. There's nothing really that can stop like the power of love. And that's not like an ego delusion or projection of, you know, some sort of wishful thinking. That is the truth. This is like, your connection represents true love. There's nothing that's like, it's not only, nothing stops this love, but not only that, there's nothing that really affects it that much either. You know, you could think like, oh yeah, the love can't be stopped, but there may be obstacles that really sort of dim the strength of this love or test this love, like, and make it, you know, sort of dim down or weaken. Not at all. There's like no obstacle that can even weaken this love. It's only ever getting more and more powerful. The more you're awakening, the more you're realizing love. And therefore it becomes a more powerful force in your life. cleansing waters. Purification activates vibrant life force. So yeah, there's a cleansing going on right now, a healing, a releasing, a purification, a dissolving of this density, which is just illusion of separation. And the dissolving of that is activating vibrant life force with all these lilies and these open flowers. In your reading, this is the open heart chakra. You're coming back into overcoming these obstacles, overcoming this feeling of energetic disconnection that's been happening somewhat. You're coming back into deeper levels of harmony and closeness. You may be opening your heart to this person more clearly in some cases. View from above. Get the big picture. It's because you're going inwards. You're having a lot of introspection. You're trying to see the bigger picture. And you are achieving that. You're ascending these illusions. You're ascending those obstacles. And therefore you're rising up in higher vibration, which is opening you to more, expand into more and more of the love. So I'm going to finish this reading with a Rumi Oracle card, and it's going to be a powerful message from the divine. What do you really need to know about your connection? What's going on right now? What is the divine's advice for you? We have sacred union. Wow. Sacred union. Only the oneness of love and the lover is eternal. Surrender your heart into this union, for all else in this world is momentary. Stupefied with bliss, I became without thought. There is no grief in that loss. I gladly surrender my intelligence in favor of this mindlessness. It is ecstasy, rapture. The sweetness of the union so sacred overwhelms my senses. The lover and the beloved are my world. Nothing else exists except this love, this unity of divine masculine and feminine, and the fresh new universe that shall be born from their sacred conjoining. It happens even now, between my body and my spirit, and in yours, and in his over there, and that woman passing by. All creation in sacred rapturous embrace. So shocking and wild, this frenzy of loving delight without limits. Let us be swept away, my beloved, in the passionate loving that renders duality into one and tips the mind into empty ecstasy. You lucky, lucky angel, you are to be blessed with sacred union. This union is of the lover and the beloved, the masculine and the feminine. That which appears to be opposite will no longer appear to be so. There is a coming together that is destined and divine. You are to be swept up in a wave of such love. This oracle comes to you as a portent, a sign of that which is to come, and also as a confirmation of your spiritual journey thus far. You have been working to integrate masculine and feminine energies within. Oh, perhaps you have not used those words, but you have been attempting to find the balance between living a surrendered life and leading from the heart, and then knowing when to take the initiative to set something in motion, when to put your body, mind and soul into getting your shoulder behind something to push. You have been working hard to surrender attachment to plans and how you think things should go. Instead, you have intended to show it up for what it is, to seek out the genius of life through unconditional acceptance instead of judging and fearing, resisting what is as though it were a big mistake, perhaps caused by ignorance within. No, you do not seek to hide from love anymore. You have been learning step by step how to embrace it and allow it to embrace you. What a journey you are taking, beautiful, lucky angel. So your confirmation is thus. You are growing, you are evolving, you are making genuine shifts in consciousness that are allowing you to change the way you are in the world, to become freer, more loving, wilder, more divine. The divine has been seducing you with love and beauty, and now, in your surrendered state, you are seducing the divine. You are calling such passionate devotion to your cause, such clever and capable assistance, such graceful intervention. The divine cannot resist your beauty, so keep going with that sacred surrender. Keep believing in the inner healing path you are traveling with such success. Accept this confirmation and acknowledgement close to your heart and keep traveling along your path of love. Keep this knowledge in your heart. You are meeting your beloved. What could be more exciting? The sign coming to you with this oracle is that of great love bestowed by the hand of grace. What this means is there is destiny at play in matters of the heart. There is a heart healing and a letting go of past obstructions, suffering, or misunderstandings. You could say, in a way, that the great cosmic matchmaker has taken up your cause. If you are already in a relationship, expect that there will be healing of that relationship in whatever way needed. You may have no sense of how it is going to play out. It may result in a deepening of commitment to your lover, but it will certainly result in a deepening of your own commitment to love. If you are open to attracting a new and significant relationship into your life, perhaps a life partner, soul friend, or other supporter of your life journey, then the divine is hearing your call and is answering. Let go of your grip. Do not hold on to a particular person, to a particular fear or fantasy. Instead, open your arms as if expecting your lover to run straight into them. For what could be more perfect than the divinely sanctioned relationship entering into your life? It will move you. It is likely through romance, but it could be through soul-satisfying partnership. The soul for whom you have been waiting, so your life path and heart-inspired work can continue to develop. It could be through the presence of a child, or even a coming together of your own inner masculine and feminine, so that you finally have a clear sense of your purpose in life and the means through which to take action on it, even if that action is to surrender yet again. This oracle also comes with a particular piece of guidance for you. No matter what has been, what has succeeded, and what has appeared to fail, what has been loved and what has been lost, there is only one truth that will prevail in your life without failure, without exception, and that is love. It is all you are truly seeking, and it is behind every life experience seeking you. Do not stand back from it. Do not put yourself aside, turn down your eyes and pretend you cannot be seen by this world. Be bold, claim the love that is your divine birthright, and know that sacred union is yours, destined in the heavens and blessed by the great beloved. So here is the sacred honouring ritual. Place one hand on your heart and the other outstretched before you, as if to place it on the heart of another. Say aloud, "Through the grace of Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, I call upon my true beloved now to be at one with my heart purpose. Through divine grace, our sacred union is now sanctioned and blessed. The love in my life swells to overflowing, and I do not try to contain it. I am satisfied to be washed away in bliss, and I serve the great beloved in this divine romance, offering my heart to the one great love through which all other love emanates. I am love. I am united, heaven and earth, conjoined in passionate devotion to the great beloved. Love fills my life in all the ways I need, and I am graced by divine blessings so rich. Thank you, so be it." Place both hands on your heart and rest for as long as feels good for you. When you are ready, simply open your eyes, place your hands in prayer position briefly, and then on your head. You have finished your sacred honouring ritual. So I really hope this reading has resonated really deeply with you. Thank you so much for joining me here. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye. Welcome to set of cards number 3. You've chosen the rose quartz crystal. So this is your twin flame reading. What's really going on in your connection right now? What do you really need to know from spirit? Please take a moment to hit the like button and the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and that way you'll be notified every time I release a new reading. So if you have chosen this card here, it says, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. Wow. So this is what's really happening within your connection overall, okay? There is this oneness between you. Your love represents true love. It is the oneness. It is the infinite beyond this plane of duality. There's this closeness, this oneness between you. But you're also learning, I'm hearing from spirit in this lifetime, to always give each other space. So this could be space in the 3D, okay? There could be a separation, so to speak, in the 3D, and this is really helping you both to learn unconditional love. It's helping you to be the true love without conditions. So this is really bringing you out of duality. This is bringing you out of, or it's helping you dissolve the conditioning of this earth plane to think love is about attachment. Love, you know, thinking love is about claiming the other person. And anytime we have attachment, anytime we have expectations, anytime we try and claim the other person and say this person is mine, that creates imprisonment, okay? This is a love, it's true love, which is by nature freeing, it's liberating. It's true unconditional love. I'm hearing from spirit, there's circumstances in your connection that could be triggering the ego and believing in separation and feeling wounds because of that, and that's okay, but it's triggering those to be released. You will see beyond this illusion of separation. And to the mind, if I say that you're one in heart and soul, the mind, the ego may be frustrated by that. The ego may not be satisfied by that, or it won't be satisfied by that. And because the ego is used to thinking that real life is the 3D, but it's not. This is a connection that's powerfully initiating you both into over time, making your focus naturally align with the higher dimensional consciousness and knowing that that is the ultimate truth. And when you really, really experience this oneness, you know that that is so much more profound than our 3D ideas of what would bring us so much happiness, so much peace, so much love, so much joy. That is what you're both wanting to feel. You're wanting to feel the deepest levels of love, and spirit is saying you already have that. You're already experiencing that. Spirit really wants you to take notice of the times where you're feeling so overwhelmed with this surreal feeling, which is actually the reality of when you feel truly at one with your person, like energetically. This amazing love, this amazing experience. Spirit's wanting you to take notice of how that is so much more deep, so much more powerful than any kind of physical relationship you've had with anyone. And Spirit is saying that a lot of the time, 3D physical relationships, it's a lot of unconsciousness, okay? You and your person are closer than anyone else, like in your 3D life, because you are connecting through pure communication. You're connecting on a true level, the energetic level of oneness. There isn't all the obstacles of like a 3D relationship. You know, like most of you that have experienced lots of different relationships or several different relationships in the 3D with people, you will understand how you can feel so disconnected from them. They're right there in the physical, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you can feel totally disconnected. Just because they're there with you in the 3D does not mean you're close. And Spirit is wanting you to realize that the most real thing, the most real experience, the most profound love, the most feeling of intimacy and connection is actually happening between you and your person. And you may not have anything going on in the 3D. And they're saying that's kind of like the point. The 3D would be a distraction. The 3D would get you falling into patterns of the way things are done in this 3D world. You know, the old relationship paradigms, the old conditioning, the expectations. I'm hearing you'd get used to just talking like with your physical voices, and you would sort of lose touch with really connecting, really communicating, which happens energetically, telepathically. That's the pure communication. So much more is communicated, felt and experienced on that level than if you were to be talking in a 3D or being together in the 3D, okay? And the reason why your connection is like this is because it's a powerful, you're meant to connect in this way in order to focus on the higher dimensions, because you're these light workers, okay? So this connection, this love activates you to be focused and feel the oneness, reaching out to each other energetically, feeling that, exploring that, experiencing that, expanding into that. And that allows all this higher dimensional love, light, knowledge to come into your beings, come into your awareness, so then you can emanate that out and help uplift the consciousness of this planet. But also you're connecting in this true sense, because this is how you are used to connecting, is what I'm hearing. You're used to knowing each other in the higher realms, so this is your natural way of being. It's only here on this earth plane that there appears to be a separation because of the physical body and all the density. Normally you're connecting where there isn't the physical body or the density, so there is no sense of separation whatsoever. It's all energetic reality. It's all oneness. So one of the other reasons why you're connecting in this way, energetically, because this is just how you do it. That's what, you know, you're used to, and this is how you're supposed to be connecting. It's also a powerful activation of you being able to come out, rise out of the density, rise out of the illusions, because you are also on a path back home. This is helping you both, you know, when it's time for you to cross over. It's helping you release like density and karma that you've accumulated in this lifetime, so you can align more with the fifth dimension and then just flow back to that so much more easily without too much karmic debris. So yeah, you're really learning that love never claims. It simply allows and gives. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space, okay? When there's no space in relationships, when there's this clinging, when there's this expectation, it kills the love. This is what you and your person are learning. It kills the love because the expectations, it's all fear-based, it's density, it sort of limits your growth, it limits your ability to sort of move around, so to speak, grow, evolve, because it instills like guilt or obligation. So your love, your connection is not about that. It's about true love, freeing, liberating, helping each other to liberate yourselves from your suffering, from your karma, from your illusions. coming out of duality into oneness, into unity consciousness. So what else is really going on in your connection right now? We have the Nine of Wands and revolution. This is Tower, okay? So revolution, you are these light workers. You are here to be like, to overcome or be like the way showers or the example of what true love is. This is you and your person. Your love cannot exist in old paradigm relationships, in 3D versions of love, which isn't. There may be some love beneath everything, but most relationships these days are based on obligation, expectations, a lot of illusions, where you feel pressured to play a certain role to keep the other person happy. This revolution, it's like you are these way showers, you and your twin flame, where this is true love. You're bringing this template, so to speak, or the truth of what real love is, basically, to this earth plane, to be like the inspiration, to help raise the consciousness on this planet so people can see what true love is and experience that, and it helps uplift the planet like over time. So we have Nine of Wands. This is the Wounded Warrior card, and this is the Tower. So you both have had lots of walls around yourself because you're born here on this earth plane, okay? There's a lot of fears that are created here. So you subconsciously created walls to protect yourselves. But I'm hearing from Spirit, you are these powerful beings, okay, here to make change. And so it was time for you to meet. Upon meeting each other, it's really been a catalyst. It's really been an activation of love, which is the most powerful force. It dissolves and breaks down fears because you see beyond it. You can rise beyond it. So the fears were keeping you stuck within your walls. It was, you know, preventing you from fully being able to do your mission here on earth. So you met each other in order to crumble like the walls, the fears. I'm hearing from Spirit, you're both very strong. You've had to endure a lot of struggles in your life, a lot of pain, a lot of trauma. It's not surprising that you had these thick walls around yourselves. But, you know, lightning struck. You met each other. You know each other from the higher realm. So on an energetic, light level, that really activated you both. Energetically activated your life, your light body. And it just made you consciously aware of the higher realms because you know this person from the higher realms. So all these memories flood in, all this inner knowing, it's opened your eyes. It's helped you rise above the fear and seeing it for the illusion that it is, so that over time you can come out from fears more and more and be in your power, which is the love. So what else is really going on? We have strength. Yeah, normally this shows the lady taming the lion. To me, the lion's representing the ego, the fears, the mind chatter that creates the fears. This is taming the fears, taming the mind. So you have the strength of love. You sink into the heart. You know love is the only reality, and that transmutes the fears, or anything that's been holding you back and blocking you. You came into each other's lives to be the strength, be the love rather than the fear. So we have 5 of Wands and 6 of Swords. So 5 of Wands, this is actually you coming back into your personal empowerment. This normally depicts like fighting battles, power struggles. But this is actually you coming into your strength in order to be this energy of this revolution, this power, this strength, this courage to stand your ground, fight for what is right for you, be your true self. And this is the Six of Swords. It's saying slowly and surely over time you're moving out of adversity into harmony, into your truth, into love, into courage and peace, to just feel safe being who you truly are. You came into each other's lives to really help each other with this transformation, this activation of who you really are, so you could really start being on your divine mission a lot more than before. Hedonist. So it says inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. So I'm really hearing from Spirit, it was your time for harvest, it was your time for abundance, okay? You've been in so much, you felt so trapped and locked away, and all this heaviness, all these fears, anxieties, feeling unsatisfied, feeling a lot of stagnation, exhaustion. It was your time to experience pleasure. It was your time to experience beauty, abundance, the good things in life, embrace love, things that are going to make you feel uplifted, truly nourished, truly fulfilled. It was your time to feel good. And that's how you feel within this union, because it's like it directly plugs you into home, who you really are, the higher dimensions which you come from. Advocate inspires you to put compassion into action. So yeah, you've really come in to activate each other. You're great inspiration for each other, because this connection, it makes you remember what true love is. You remember the love, the respect, the oneness, the compassion, the empathy. You understand how difficult it is, and therefore to be on this earth plane, and therefore you understand the other person's struggles. So this is open-heartedness. This is acceptance, love, adoration, admiration for each other. You inspire each other to put compassion, to put love into action, to, you know, take action on this as light workers, basically. Working as a team to activate each other in order to do this. We have detective. Great powers of observation, intuition, desire to seek out truth. And shadow attribute, we have voyeurism, falsifying information. It's almost like hiding, she's hiding behind this book. So voyeurism, falsifying information, to me that is the mask self, the walls we have around ourselves, the roles we play, which may not or are not in alignment with our true selves. But you are both this detective energy where you have these powerful desires to seek out truth. This is true love. This connection just is this great inspiration to just observe things, okay? Observe what is real, observe what isn't real. Uncover the truth, uncover love, uncover self-love. So you both really enjoy going inwards and getting these deeper levels of understanding and integrating that. And you love that because your soul is desiring the truth, love, to be able to go back home. Femme fatale highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. That's very interesting. So dependency is being dissolved in this connection. So dependency does not work, is what I'm hearing. What's happening in your connection, what's happening in the 3D, these supposed obstacles or the supposed separation, it's basically any sort of codependency or dependency, any kind of trying to claim this connection or have attachment or, you know, make things happen in certain ways. All of that does not work in your connection. It only brings you pain. And both of you are wanting to feel good, okay? Your souls are feeling naturally drawn to whatever makes you feel good. So you're realizing that what makes you feel good is releasing attachment, releasing expectations, releasing the ego's tendency to want to limit this connection by turning it into something which would be like trying to fit the ocean, which is love, into a teacup, okay? When we're trying to steer this connection into specific circumstances in the 3D, that is literally trying to limit the infinite and contain it, okay? Any type of trying to contain this love is not going to work. It's going to create tower moments, you know, it's going to create pain. So anytime you do subconsciously try and limit or hold on or attach because of illusions of separation, you will be triggered. But even that triggering will serve, because the triggering is just the love is like blasting through that attachment, or blasting through any way in which you're trying to limit it. Limit the love, because it's limitless, so it's not going to work. Trying to fit this connection, the round peg through a square hole, is not going to work. This connection does not fit into old relationship paradigms, and it's because it's not meant to. It cannot. So femme fatale, I feel like there's a lot of erotic energy surrounding the divine feminine, okay? I feel like there's this seductive quality. You have a lot of magnetism. I feel as though divine masculine is very drawn to you because of this energy that you exude. But at the same time, with it being femme fatale, it's kind of like that light, the magnetism of your light, this erotic nature that represents the oneness of your souls, like the union of the divine masculine and feminine, that tantric sexual union, energetic sexual union, and divine masculine, really feeling drawn into that. I'm hearing like it feels like a moth to a flame, this attraction that draws them in. It does dissolve a lot of density, but it creates a lot of triggering, okay, in that process, as what's been dissolved is the ego illusions, but the ego, you know, wants to stay alive and in control, so it creates a lot of triggering. There's a death. This is like an annihilation of the ego, what, you know, that limits love, because you're both on this path of expansion into love, into the truth. And so your energy is really drawing their soul inwards into more oneness, therefore sort of destroying the ego. So femme fatale, it's like feeling like a moth to a flame, and you both feel that in this connection as well. In the flow, everything is smooth sailing, So I feel like there's an excitement about this kind of femme fatale energy as well on both sides. This magnetic pull, it's like this, you're naturally flowing into oneness, into love, into higher levels of consciousness. Everything is smooth sailing. It's like, it feels pleasurable. This sounds strange. It sounds like a paradox, but it kind of feels pleasurable to feel that powerful magnetism through the density. You're moving through the density into the light, and it creates a friction. Okay, moving through density, it creates a friction. That's like that sexual tension, and a part of you is like really loving just flowing into that. There's something about you feel held by this love. You feel it's kind of like a turn on that you feel so drawn into this. It's like that seductive energy of feeling like you don't have to try and control everything in your life. You can just relax and flow, and you're naturally coming into this oneness. You naturally are this love. You're drawn into it, so you kind of feel like you can rest in a sense and just go with the flow. Like this is just happening naturally. You don't have to, you know, fight for the love. You don't have to try and make the love happen. The love is there. If anything, it's like the ego trying to slow things down subconsciously, because the love is so profound. But yeah, a part, it's like it feels thrilling. It's kind of like the example of going on a roller coaster, or going in, you know, like when children go on a ghost train. They want the thrill of being frightened, but it's exciting. It's kind of like that energy, like the ego's fearful and frightened, but it feels like that euphoria of when you're on a roller coaster and you suddenly go downwards and you kind of lose your stomach. When you're in the flow, when you allow yourself to be sucked into like this oneness, like the truth, it kind of feels like that. You lose your stomach, you lose the ego, and it feels like kind of like like there's just this expansion. There's nothing to hold on to, and that can feel scary, but it's thrilling, it's exciting, because you're having this taste of the divine, of the high vibration that's beyond all the density, duality and heaviness of this earth plane. So what else is really going on? Traveling lightly, simplify your life. This is how you feel in this connection. You feel this lightness. You feel like you can just flow. You're releasing baggage, density. It's like you're both immersing in this connection. You are feeling the oneness beyond the 3D duality, an illusion of separation. So it's helping you to lighten the load, release karma, release this density. No, it isn't real. And it's just so energizing. You feel like you're floating. You feel like you're weightless in this connection. A huge weight off your shoulders. Like you can take a big sigh of relief. Stepping into power. You are strong beyond measure. So we had revolution and strength. So yeah, this is definitely, you are both on this powerful journey, stepping into your power, realizing your strength. Okay, you are both incredibly strong, because you're so aligned with love, which is the most powerful force. And you've always felt that. You've always known your strength of character, that you've always known the strength of your soul, both of you. And you really feel that within each other as well. It's that purity. It's like that white light within. It may be how you can psychically see it and experience it. But there's insecurities, okay? It's kind of like this duality, like you both felt insecurities throughout your life. You had thick walls of mass around yourself, but nonetheless, yours felt and knew your strength within. You have this incredible strength. But it's like you needed to meet each other in order to feel like you had permission to be in your strength. Okay, there was almost like a self-consciousness that you both had about being in your power. Maybe because you'd grown up with family or parents or one of your parents that was kind of disempowered, or it's part of your bloodline, part of your genetics, to sort of be self-conscious about being in the limelight. Choosing your path, all is possible. So to me, this is saying you're choosing the path, you know, your own unique path, your own truth, beyond social matrix, beyond how we're conditioned to live our lives. I feel like this is you choosing your soul path, your soul agreements, where all is possible, where there's no limitation. Simplicity, this is like lightening the load or traveling lightly. Simplicity, this connection, it feels blissful, it feels like heavenly, okay? It feels angelic because it's pure love, it's true love. This connection's helping you simplify your lives, becoming as light as a feather. Thriving, it's helping you both to thrive by releasing density, by releasing self-consciousness and the fear of, being in your power, being in the limelight, being in your truth. You're thriving. You're doing really well, exceptionally well on this path. You work really well together as a team. You're thriving in this stillness, okay? When we're in fear, illusion, density, that creates a lot of chaotic thoughts. It creates stress. This connection represents the stillness of love, the stillness of truth beyond all of that. This is the swan. This is you gracefully being in the flow. There's like a gracefulness within your connection. Like everything is smooth sailing. I feel that because you are from these higher dimensions, you have a profound understanding of love, harmony, peace, stillness. And I do feel like you both have a lot of experiences. You may have incarnated many times on this earth plane, maybe not. But you have many, many experiences in other dimensions, maybe on other planets as well at times. And so you know, it's like this natural instinct, like you both know how to just come back into the love within your union quite easily. It just said 33 on the camera there, so that you may be seeing threes, and that's you, your person, and the higher realms. This is a message about you're from the same oversoul, but the oversoul, in order to incarnate here on earth, it has to sort of limit itself. It has to sort of split into several aspects or several fragments of itself in order to be able to incarnate in such density on this earth plane, because if it was the complete oversoul, it would be too much high vibration, which the body would not be able to handle that here on earth. So you and your person, you're from the same oversoul, you're fragments of the same whole. So for some of you, you know, this is beyond like the twin flame concept. For some of you, there's like many of you or several of you from the same oversoul. There's several fragments that could be here right now on the planet. Yeah, wow, purification. So sunflower, this could be very significant. The sun, sunflowers, this is about joy. It's about facing the light, growing tall, being seen, being unique, because the sunflowers are a very unique plant. It's about rising above the crowd, seeing the bigger picture, self-esteem. You bring each other so much self-esteem, okay? You love, I'm hearing you love each other so purely. You see the grace, the beauty in each other. You see the struggles, like you understand the struggles because you're from the same place. So you're having the same experience here with the struggles of being in this density. But you really help each other to thrive. So I'm going to finish this reading with a Rumi Oracle card, and it's going to be a powerful message from Spirit. What do you really need to know about your connection right now? What's really going on? What is their guidance for you at this time? You have blessing of Al-Hakim. Blessing of Al-Hakim. Sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. Cleverness is opinion, bewilderment is vision. The gift of wisdom, the blessing of Al-Hakim gurgles up from your heart. Her blessing is evoked by life, like the laughter of a babe joyfully responding to the playful tickle of the mother's hand. Wisdom can make divine sense of anything, especially of that where logic is blinded. How I revere the blessing of Al-Hakim, of wisdom, for she is precious and welcome to me now and always, the dear friend who brings me such peace. A blessing of divine wisdom of Al-Hakim is being ministered to your soul, watched over by Rumi himself. This is soul medicine. It is a spiritual gift of healing, prophecy, insight, and a capacity to surrender in any impatient claim for what you cannot yet have. As you receive this gift, this blessing which happens at a soul level, your attitude to life becomes more curious, open, still and receptive. You no longer have to drive the unfoldment of your desires into form. You rest in assurance that your daily application and effort is enough, and so is your surrender. Mental anguish is soothed, and you are able to accept the unfathomable nature of divinity in its expression of itself as life. You become comfortable with the reality that the price of being closer to the divine is the giving up of your need to always understand. From this place of increasing stillness, great activity will flow. You shall become capable of being the surrendered vessel to the guiding divine hand, and truly great contributions to the human soul evolving can occur through you. So much will simply emerge, erupt, pulsate, and emanate out of you, and yet you will feel within as though you are doing nothing at all, even while so much is happening through you. Such holy paradox shall become your daily experience. You may feel, unexpectedly perhaps, that in some ways your vision for your life and purpose, your divine passion, is clearer than ever before, and in other ways, completely unknown to you, a discovery yet to be made. This is as it should be. Wisdom bestows upon us the sane capacity to work with the opportunities that are right before us, to release situations and circumstances that have passed, and to allow the future to take its shape according to the ineffable timing of life itself. This oracle comes with special guidance for you. If you are uncertain about an issue in your life, be at peace. There is divine healing that can occur most readily in the unknowing. Follow the sacred honouring ritual and know that all is indeed well, beloved soul. Perhaps you are journeying very deep indeed, and your allegiance to your intellectual mind is softening in favour of allegiance to your heart knowing. You may find yourself craving different company with different interests, or finding the world of opinions and debate rather less to your liking, and the worlds of creative expression more nurturing and nourishing to your essence. If this is the case, this oracle comes as confirmation to trust in the changes you feel within, in any and all ways, no matter how insignificant or dramatic they may seem. Know that they are seedlings of a new way that shall grow from one step into an entirely new and more sacred orientation in your life. You will not necessarily have any idea how that will happen or what it will look like. This matters not. The acorn becomes the oak because that is its innate destiny. It happens without any active participation apart from a willingness to grow through life. So it is with the precious blooming now happening within your soul. To know less can bring the greatest gift and blessing of all, to be able to love and therefore live more freely. This oracle also comes with special guidance to bring you peace. Look to the old ways, to the ancient wisdom teachings that run as one vein of life, giving love through all traditions. The old wisdoms teach of cycles, of timing, of letting go to allow for new life to happen, and of the greater intelligence and scheme of life to which we must surrender if we are ever to know even a moment's peace. The fire in your belly is a beautiful aspect of you. Just let it be the breath that swirls around and through the heart that ignites it, not the passing huffing and puffing of the impatient mind. For when the fire in the belly is fanned by the breath of the heart, you shall have peace and dynamic movement, restful stillness, and soul-inspired action all at once. You shall become one with the living holy paradox, and the healing power of your love shall know no bounds. So here is the sacred honouring ritual. Say aloud, I call on the divine presence that loves me unconditionally, and I surrender into your wisdom. Bless me now with the ability to accept your grace, your bounty, and your gift of my life in all its mystery. Help me learn and grow, that I may realize the love that lies within all, including my own being. May I dwell in the loving mystery of sacred compassion. I call upon the wisdom of the ancient ones, those who love me unconditionally and know truth. May your power and knowledge calm my mind and ignite my spirit, so that I may be one with love, empowered in peace and purpose. So be it. Rest, you have completed your sacred honouring ritual. So I really hope this reading has resonated really deeply with you and has been very helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining me here. Take care. Bye.